Hey guys, welcome back to part 8 of our how to squat video tutorial. Today we're going to get into T-spine, thoracic spine extension, shoulder stability, and scapula retraction. I'm Stu and this is my boy Walt back in action. Say hey Walt.
What's up everybody?
Wanted to bring Walt back today. Everybody's always asking where he is, so right here he is. And if you guys remember from part 1 of our how to squat, we saw that Walt had a couple of these issues that we're going to talk about today. So I thought it'd be perfect to bring him back today and do some work with Walt. So I kind of love to hear from Walt's words. You guys have heard me talk before about T-spine extension, the importance of it, and specifically what we call upper cross syndrome. So upper cross syndrome is basically when, most times, when posture has been bad for so long, people are sitting more often than not anymore. And when we do this for long periods of time, the pecs get shorter, the lats get shorter, the shoulders pronate, muscles that retract the scapula, such as the rhomboids and middle traps, start to get underactive. So this causes a pretty big issue. Now, if you're just an Uber driver, taxi driver, truck driver, you may not care. For those of us who are into resistance training, weight training, it means a lot. Your ability to lift weight is only as good as your ability to extend your T-spine and also retract your scapula and put your shoulder into proper alignment. So, Walt, how do you think you ended up with such a bad issue?
To make a long, 18 plus year story short, just grew up in the golden age of video games. Started the Nintendo 64, I think I was 4 years old, then PlayStation, Xbox, 1, 2, 3, the evolution. So a lot of sitting, not eating the right foods. Like you said, Uber drivers, people sitting at a desk, just a lot of sitting, hunched over, playing video games. Looked up at 18 years old and way overweight and decided to do something about it, but to this day.
How much weight have you lost?
I was 290 my senior year of high school, August.
290. You wouldn't know that because the sun's out and obviously.
But yeah, and I got down to 200 pounds in less than a year. Now about 220. So, like you said,
that's awesome.
Muscles,
yeah.
But it still haunts me back here, as you said.
Yeah,
so.
He's got a heck of a story. But you see this upper cross syndrome that he's really battled. Once we started getting into squats, deadlifts, bench press, we probably added 20 pounds to his bench press alone just by getting him to retract his scapula. So don't watch these videos, especially guys who are wanting to throw some weights around the room. Don't watch these videos and go, man, that's just some boring ass corrective exercise. I'm over it. I just want to yank on some weights. You guys need to watch these. If you're having issues in your squats, I guarantee you one of these 8-part videos is going to be for you. And if you watch us warm up for deadlifts, squats, bench press, we're always going through these same movements. So I want to get right into it. We're going to go into T-spine extension. And we're going to do a couple of activator exercise / stretches. So Walt, why don't you set up a plank right there? Let's go sideways so the folks can see it. So what we're going to do with Walt is we're going to set up a nice plank. And then we're going to take him first into what's called up dog. So he's going to drop his hip, extend his toes back. And he's going to get a slight arch in his lordotic spine and start to pull this T-spine together. So he's learning how to extend that T-spine and at the same time retract the scapula. So there's a lot going on here. He's going to hold it about 30 seconds or so. And you can see he's already starting to activate and shake a little bit. Now, bring the hip back up. We're going to go into down dog. And you can see that arch right there. And this is where these muscles have been underdeveloped. And he's pronated. His shoulders have pronated forward. His pecs are tight. These lats are tight, and it pulls the humerus out of the glenoid socket. So neutral head position, he's going to pull his gut up into his spine and try to press back as far as he can. Once again, hold for about 30 seconds. Roll the hips through. Bring your hands a little bit further forward, Walt. Okay? And try to get that T-spine extended back. Once again, this is called up dog. This is an activator that you'll see us do basically for just about every single exercise. Doesn't matter if we're doing a HIIT class, we're probably going to do this. If we're deadlifting, squatting, benching, we're definitely doing this. And shoot it back up into up dog. I'm sorry, down dog, Walt. All the way back up, down dog. Leave your hands right there. Now, try to get that nice, perfect triangle pyramid shape. Good. And you can do multiple sets of these. It's not. It's pretty common to see us do like a set of squat. We'll drop down on the floor. We're increasing in weight. We're warming up. And we'll go through multiple series of these. I've got a video also, Sun Salutations, that includes both of these and includes a lot of other yoga asanas. It's a great video. All right, well, so let's do the next one. So we're going to make this a little bit tougher on Walt. We're going to go into a side plank. All right, so face the camera, Walt. And let's come up on the hand. So what he's going to do first is he's going to stack his feet. He's going to try to get into proper alignment. Straight line here. And this hip is a straight shot. So it should look as though he's standing horizontal to the floor. And once again, he's going to retract that scapula, extend his T-spine. This is perfect posture. So these are the postural muscles. The erectors, spinalis, semispinalis, longissimus thoracis. There's all kinds of muscles that are firing back here that we rarely think about, but they're all conspiring to keep him erect and upright. There's a lot going on here with this activator. Now, go into a plank with the other hand, and let's rotate back the other way. Bring it back up. And once again, he's going to pull this shoulder blade back. Perfect extension. He's thinking about perfect posture, incorporating all his muscles. So what's great about this is it's a great core activator, a great T-spine activator, scapular retraction, all of the above. This is one of the basic activators that we always do. So let's take this thing and progress it a little bit more. All right, next, this is another activator that you see us do quite a bit. We'll take a band. We've just hooked it on to the rack here. This could be a doorknob. Anything that's not going to move, you could wrap this band around. But once again, he's thinking about perfect posture. He's extending that T-spine up. Now he's getting into scap retraction. So we're talking about rhomboids, mid-trap. And this is so important, guys. If we don't get the scap retracted, his humerus is not lined up properly in the glenoid socket. So it doesn't matter what lift we're talking about. If we're talking about a barbell squat and your shoulder is out of proper alignment and your T-spine is rolled forward, if your posture is compensated, that bar is going to end up on top of you at some point. There's no way you can hold the bar over the center of the foot without proper T-spine alignment and also this scapula retraction. So he's just pulling that guy straight back. So let's just say we're getting ready to squat. So let's just take it down a little bit further. Let's say we're getting ready to squat and we want to get nitty gritty. We could take this guy, we could put it up under the knee so he could practice abduction and then also abduction here. So this is whole body abduction. Just imagine he's got that band wrapped around his knees. This is an incredible activator if you're getting ready to start getting into some barbell squats. One that you'll see us do commonly. This is a whole body abductor. Do a couple more. That's perfect, Walt. So we could also make it a little bit more lift specific. We can take this guy down a little bit more. Let's say he's getting ready to deadlift. Bring your posture up just a little higher. Shoulders over knees. Sit back in a high hinge. There you go. Now, he can pull this guy straight back and start to activate glutes, hamstrings. Let's say he's getting ready to deadlift. Olympic weightlifting. This could be maybe a more appropriate warm-up or maybe variations of all the above. But there's no reason why, when we're just trying to get this scapula retracted, we're trying to warm up these muscles, we're trying to activate them, that we don't try to activate everything else at the same time. And once again, he could have a band on, abducting at the knees and pulling straight back. So, do one more. Perfect rep. There's some issues we get into when we start getting into scapula retraction and rowing. So let's look at that next. So one of the best exercises that we can do to start getting the scapula, the rhomboids, more activated is a basic row. He's set up on a TRX right here. But here's the problem. One of the most common issues I see or injuries with people is they're walking around kind of rubbing on this shoulder, and what ends up happening is we develop impingement at the shoulder. More often than not, it's happening because the firing sequence is a little backwards when we're beginning to rub. Now, Walter's going to do it absolutely perfect. He's going to open up his shoulder blades a little bit and then pull his rhomboids together and then the elbows. He's going to open up, he's going to stretch back there, pull the arms straight back, and then the elbow in. What commonly happens is people will just begin to pull their elbow straight back, and it impinges the shoulder. The humerus is basically shoving up against the bicep tendon right here, and it starts to shorten it. So we want to pull those shoulder blades back, the arms are straight, then pull. Do it one more perfect rep. Retract, then pull. Remember guys, retract, then pull. And it's not just for a row, it's for a pull down as well. So let's look at that. Okay guys, another common variation, a lat pull down, but the same mechanics need to happen in sequence. He's going to get into T-spine extension, perfect posture. He's going to open up that scapula, and when he gets ready to pull, he's going to pull his arms straight back, then down with the elbows. Roll, pull, release, stretch. So every time he gets a full engagement and he can feel those muscles squeezing, pulling together. We like to do a little isometric contraction at the bottom there. Good, Walt. One more time. Back and down. And one more time, we're going to do this wrong. The last thing we want to do is be underactive here and just pull the elbow straight back. So see if you can do it wrong. Keep coming. Keep coming. And you can just see how uncomfortable that is, and we're just jamming that humerus. It feels terrible, doesn't it, Walt? You never want to do that ever again, do you? Good boy. Love it. All right. So let's look at a couple other things. All right, guys. Last but not least, shoulder stability. We've covered the importance of the thoracic spine, spinal extension. We've got scapular retraction. Last but not least, shoulder stability. Rotator cuff, teres major, teres minor, infraspinatus, supraspinatus. All these muscles are conspiring to keep the humerus inside and integrated into this glenoid socket through all movement. This is a three-dimensional ball and socket joint that needs to be trained that way, and it's easily compensated. It used to be the #1 orthopedic surgery in America. It's been replaced by the meniscus because we've gotten bigger and a lot more unstable, but incredibly important. So we're going to cover a couple of rotator cuff exercises, easy to do. Once again, he's going to get into thoracic extension. He's going to stand up really tall. We're going to do an empty can movement. So he's going to turn these dumbbells down as though he's got two cans in his hands and start to raise them slowly. Really easy to do. This could be anything. You could literally have, it's called empty can for a reason. You could just literally have 2 cans of soup in your hand doing this exercise. Super easy to do, very effective. Now we're going to do an open can and simply just turn the thumbs up again. You look like you're getting ready to hemorrhage there. Does that hurt that bad? It's only like 5 pounds.
Full concentration. Can't be broken.
I know these exercises look boring, guys. They are activators. These are not your big movement exercises. We're getting muscles prepped up. A little bit goes a long way. Like I said, the rotator cuff, the shoulder, is an easily compensated muscle, easily compensated joint. It can get damaged, it can get hurt really easily. Shoulder stability is an absolute must when we're talking about all the major lifts. So go ahead and throw those down, Walt. Last thing we're going to do is some really basic internal, external rotation. He's going to take this elbow, and one of the great things, easy ways of knowing he's stabilizing and he's inside of this rotator cuff is he's going to put that elbow up against a towel and drive it into his rib cage. Externally rotate, and it does not take a ton of tension. You can see him just shaking a little bit. Does not take a lot of tension. So that's external rotation, pulling away from the body. We'll take it, put it on the other side, and step out a little further this way. We'll trade hands. And now we'll go internal rotation. So once again, he's going to keep that elbow on the inside, internally, externally rotate. Pretty simple to do. All we did was attach the band over to the rack. Simple to do. And then I'm going to show you one more, and we're going to take this towel. I got a lot of guys that are like, man, I don't carry a band, I don't have access to it. How do I do a rotator cuff warm up? Simply take a towel, pop it apart, pull your elbows to the inside, pull to the inside, pull to the outside, and try to get into that T-spine extension. Retract your scapula, get all of those muscles fired up and included. And last but not least, I got my trusty little field hockey ball here. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it. I don't recommend laying on these, but turn around, Walt. Remember, the erectors are coming all the way from the lumbar spine, all the way through T-spine and up into the C-spine. What I would recommend you do if you want to get in and do some trigger point is simply just take that ball and start placing it on a wall wherever it is that you're having some issue. And as you do more of these exercises, as you start to fire up these rhomboids, they will tend to get a little bit cranky. So you can simply just take one of these balls, put it up against a wall, and just move your body ever so slightly around those trigger points, and they will definitely release over time. If you don't have one of these guys, you definitely need to get one. Walt, are you fixed?
Oh yeah, good
Awesome,
to go.
Brother. Awesome, man.
Squats,
Thanks, buddy.
deadlifts.
Always a pleasure.
No problem.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
watching, guys.